It kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Butter. Gotta go lefty.
No, we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion to the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast. Hello and welcome to Down Lane Podcast. We are streaming live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes. I am your host, Kyle Haines, and with me is the assistant to the host, Anthony Scaccia.
I would love for my new nickname to be Patchy the Pirate.
How long have you been working on that one? Since this afternoon? When I
No, literally like 30 seconds ago.
Oh, my goodness. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Share with your friends. We would love if you did. Don't forget to check out our latest videos on the YouTubes. And if you can't watch us live, you can always watch back or check us out on your favorite podcast outlet while you're driving in the car, listening at work, what have you. While you're doing that, you can always give us a 5-star review. We love when you do that too. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. I'm at Solar42386. Did you catch that on Twitter? And Kyle the Sweep on Instagram.
I think I'm Anthony Scaccia. Literally on everything.
And then let's see here. You can always email us at downlanepod@gmail.com. Thank you, 10-Pin Life. Ben, woo! Yes, this week we did hit the 1,000 subscriber threshold. Thank you very much to all of our viewers. You guys are super awesome.
What can I say? People love me.
Was it your video that did that? I don't...
Yeah. Remember, you were supposed to give me the mic and didn't give me the mic.
we don't have to say why. It just but thank you to all of our viewers and subscribers. You guys are awesome. Year and a half or 2 years. How long have we been doing this? I don't even know. Year and a half, something like that. But touchdown. Yeah, a lot of fun. It's super awesome. We're joining the 1,000 club with Ben, even though he's up to like 5,000 or 6,000 now. So congratulations to Ben over at 10-Pin Life. Anyway, comment to us during the show. This is going to be a fun one. And we'll chat with you guys, take your questions. We'll show your comments, talk about it, all that good stuff.
Let's hope we can get to everything.
I know. Super busy episode because, I don't know. There's some things to talk about. We bowled this weekend. We'll talk about that.
We did?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
We had a club tournament.
I forgot about that.
Is there anything else to talk about? I don't know. That's it.
Oh, well, Will Smith smacked Jada, whatever her name is.
He did not smack Jada.
No.
Let's just clear that. Will Smith did not smack Jada.
Smack some other guy.
He smacked
Chris Rock. That's it. Yes. All right. I don't follow the celebrities.
We did find out that paper does beat rock.
Really?
Open hand slap.
Oh, right.
Oh, that was good. Touchdown.
That went right over my head, man. Right over my head.
Usually that's me. Usually that's what I would say.
Wow, that was a good one. Sorry. Good. Well done, and I missed it.
I'm gonna applaud you on that.
Oh man, but yes, there's a lot to get to in the rest of the episode today. Obviously, we're going to be talking about all of the new bans here with Storm, and there's
gonna be some hard content.
Yes, and all of their bans with the 6 new bowling balls that they're banning. But we will get to it. We will talk about it. But first, as we do every single episode, Anthony, how was your week this week?
It's pretty great today.
Just today?
No, it's kind of a cluster this week.
It's gotta be a freaking S storm.
Well,
yeah.
Because
in so many words.
Yes. We've got a lot of guys going
Pun
to nationals.
Not intended.
You just drilled the phase 4.
Mm-hmm.
We've got my girlfriend's gotten altered. We've got another guy who's got about 2 or 3 illegal ones now. So I have another guy. So I mean, we have to see how the exchange process is going to go for these people going out.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been all right. I don't know what else to say. You just got to kind of roll the punches, but I do have some strong feelings on this. And actually, I
Yeah.
think we almost got into a fist fight before the show, and we stopped because it would be much better on this than it would be
Yeah,
us
well,
fighting prior.
we can Will Smith and Chris Rocket in a minute.
I will be Will. You can be Chris.
But I mean, let's actually talk about your week. We bowled this weekend in our club tournament here at Town and Country Lanes. For those of you that don't know, we have a tournament club here. We bowled on a beaten path V2, which is at 5.7 to 1. So basically a 6 to 1.
We had a member guest event, so we had people who weren't a part of the club and people who were. If you wanted to, the members were able to bring a guest, and they would be put in a doubles portion for $35. And then the members' entry fee was already covered. And then they had their own. We had two divisions, depending on averages, and we split them down the middle. And they have their own singles. And then we also had that side doubles, which was handicapped. We had about 50 players, roughly 45, 50 players
between our members and the
guests. Yep. Everything went pretty all right. It was a little tough to do handicap and everything and get everything because we had to make sure scratch, handicap, brackets, this, that. We had a bunch of action going. A lot of people got some money this week. And it was really fun to see. And, how a 5 to 1 or 5.5 to 1 could really make some guys not have a lot of area, and they could see a little bit of the differences if they haven't bowled on it before. So
yes, thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy was my guest this past Sunday. And sorry, I didn't perform for you, Jeremy. But Anthony actually just mopped up the field. He shot 979. He should have shot 1,000 if it wasn't for that last game. He stunk the last game. Shot 190. Yeah.
It's because I was thinking that game because I wasn't doing other stuff.
Transition for the lefty.
It was because I wasn't running around doing everything else.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what I shot. You asked, hey, how you shoot? I'm like, I'm bowling pretty good. I have no idea what my scores are.
No, we all were paying attention. He shot 3 250s,
you guys
2
were,
250s and a 260. He shot almost 800 for the first three. And then he didn't even have to think for the last game because he had it almost in the bag, basically in the bag. I mean, we all had to shoot 300 to jump the field, or not jump the field, but to jump you to win. And but anyway, yeah, you shot 979 to win it. I shot 904 to come in third. And Austin, you shot 802 roughly, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, we can inflate it. It was a
902. 902. But
handicap,
it was definitely so. This, like, my notes about this is that, like, so this was a 6 to 1, and it was very playable. So, like, if you found the right part of the lane, Chris shot 840. I assume that's
Burgess.
Chris. That's Chris Burgess.
In the back.
Chris, you're supposed to be working. You're not supposed to be watching YouTube. The 6 to 1 is very playable, and, like, if you found the right part of the lane, like, that's how
you can mash them.
That's not even just that, but, like, that's how bowling should be now, right? So, like, it shouldn't be this Great Wall of China type stuff. It should be, if you miss a little bit, you leave some pins, whether it's a 10 pin or a washout or whatever.
Unless you're left-handed.
But, like, basically what it is now, guys miss a bunch and they still get to the pocket, so they think they should strike. But, like, if it was just a little bit harder, they would notice that they missed. They would know because the ball wouldn't come back. So I just think, like, if it was just a little bit harder like this, like 6 to 1, they wouldn't expect to strike so much because they would know that they missed. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's not hard. It's like golfing at a municipal golf course. It's not impossible, but it's, like, still a hard game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you could see when you miss.
I think next year we need to find a different comparison than golf.
I know, but
we should get a different one every season.
The way I look at it is, you made a little bit of an error on the shot, and your strike percentage went down quite a bit.
Right.
I mean, but then you could see, that wasn't the greatest shot, but on the house shot, it'll roar back. So yeah, I mean, if we're trying to take golf out of it, you had more area, obviously. I mean, 6 to 1 is fairly easy. It's easy enough. The game could be that way, but I'm not going to talk about that now because
we got other fish to fry.
Well, it's just rules.
But, well, yeah, I mean, it would require,
rules are hard to follow.
It would require the upper management, meaning the USBC, to enforce some sort of.
No comment. We're not going to comment right now.
It would require them to enforce some sort of lane condition rule.
Hey, speaking about enforcement, what ball did you throw?
So on Sunday, I started with the Quantum Evo, and then I kind of moved through a bunch of different bowling balls, and then ended up with the the Phase 4.
What? No wonder why you scored so freaking good. You guys are cheaters, bunch of cheaters.
He struck from everywhere when he went to the
I know.
Whenever
I
just had to touch the head.
Yeah, it was crazy because
he washed out at least 3 big 4s.
I did watch him. We literally just drilled that ball, and he threw it like 6 shots in the Nationals pattern when it was burnt out, and he like ran off the last 7, all different shots. And I was like, wow, we really nailed that one. I guess we didn't. I guess it was just the outer shell taking over for Kyle's mistake.
Austin, you should show that last comment from Paige. That's a pretty good one. I like, if we get some bonus points if we compare it exclusively to curling. I like that. Compare bowling to curling.
I wonder how the topography is on the ice.
Probably, well, it can't be flat, right?
I'd have to imagine it's almost 0.
Well, I don't know.
It's got to be
It's
flat.
like the whole thing
There's
about
no
curling is watching that rock move, right? Like,
well,
it's probably a lot better than lanes, though, right?
It's on ice.
Yeah, water is flat, right? Like
it's on ice.
It's not true.
It slides far.
Water is not
distance.
flat. Water takes shape to what it's in. That's what Bruce Lee said. Would you rather be the glass, or would you rather be the
technically,
water?
when
Would
water
you rather
freezes,
conform
it's
to what
going
you're
to try
doing,
to be level.
or would you rather be rigid? Something like that.
That was Bruce Lee again?
Oh my god!
It actually was Bruce Lee. I will show that next week, or I will do it right now while Kyle's talking.
Oh my goodness! So before we talk about the Phase 4, I do want to make mention though. After the podcast is over tonight at 9:00, big bowling news. Big bowling news tonight at 9:00, CBS 9 Eastern time. CBS How We Roll is making its debut with Pete Holmes as the Tom Smallwood. What are your initial thoughts?
I don't even know who that guy is.
Pete Holmes?
Yeah.
He's a comedian. He's an actor.
I hope it's good. I hope it's more bowling. I mean, it's not going to be bowling related.
It's not going to be bowling at all.
Well, let's hope there's a little bit to it. I mean, he did seem to have a mongoose on, and at least he had some bowling shoes on, so that's good.
Tom Smallwood doesn't even use a glove.
I know. He's a Detroit half thumb.
I know. Like, we said this before. Like, I mean, all love to Tom Smallwood, but like, the show didn't even take any effort into.
How do you know you haven't seen it yet?
We've seen Pete Holmes throw a ball. And I know they don't care about us bowlers watching the show, but like they didn't even give any effort to making it look realistic. At least with cop shows, they give them some training about police training. Why not give any bowling training about how to throw a bowling ball down a lane? I mean, I know we're talking a bunch of bowlers here, but like I know that Hollywood doesn't care about bowling, but I'm just saying.
Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. That's what the actual thing is. Be water.
Be water. I get it. Okay. So anyway, tonight at 9:00 on CBS Eastern Standard Time, that is How We Roll with Pete Holmes, the life of Tom Smallwood. So, which is pretty exciting. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, it's a PBA bowler. If you guys don't know. So, and he followed us on Instagram today. So we're just getting super huge out here. 1,000 followers. Tom Smallwood follows us on Instagram. It's a big deal.
Tommy Smallwood. Good guy.
Maybe he'll come on the show.
Good guy, Tommy.
Kyle's going to go out and buy the belt buckle now.
What's the belt buckle? Is there a 1,000 follower belt buckle?
No. It's
just
a form of like one-upping someone, having a fancy. You don't know this stuff?
No. This is all new to me.
Come on, Kyle. Wow. Figure it out.
And I'm the youngest one in this room?
Yeah, Kyle. What the heck?
All right.
I know what it is.
So, should we get to the news?
Yeah, just do it.
All right.
Breaking news. Just in.
All right. So if you haven't been living under a rock, or if you are living under a rock, been living under a rock, you might not know that the USBC has banned 6 more bowling balls from Storm, which is absolutely insane.
Well,
unheard of.
It's not banned. Excluded.
Right. Yeah, right. Okay, that's a better way to put it. Excluded from national tournaments, 6 bowling balls from Storm.
Also the PWBA.
The Storm umbrella.
Right. It's more national events.
Right. So the OCs, Open Championships,
PWBA,
Masters, PWBA,
Senior Masters, just kind of like all the nationals. It's a nationals thing, right?
We do have their post. We can show it. So where should we start? Do we want to talk about the timeline of what happened this week?
Well, I think we should start with
or do we want to plant our flags in the ground of like who's to blame?
I think we should get
first?
started with what started the whole
How
thing.
did it start?
Well, that's okay.
So got it in order. I mean,
it's been a couple days now. A lot of these people might have the whole story here. So, like, do we want to just like plant our flags in the ground and say like who's at fault, or do we just want to go through the timeline?
No, I'd go through the timeline.
Okay, let's go through the timeline then. All right, so let's go at the beginning. So it's Monday night, right? And
not a creature is
and practice is over at the Masters, and Jason Belmonte puts this, in my opinion, ominous and I don't know about ridiculous, but ominous post out, right? And it says, something unsettling happened after my practice session at the Masters. USBC asked me to bring my bowling balls to be tested. What kind of testing I was unsure of. I brought my balls to this testing site and thought it was weird that it was behind black curtains. I asked if I could watch my equipment through the testing process. They declined to allow me. So I declined to give my equipment to them to test. I just didn't feel comfortable not being able to be present through the testing process. I have no issue with them testing any and all of my bowling balls so long as there is transparency. Why do it behind a black curtain? Why can't I watch my own equipment be tested? And what are they testing for? Does this seem weird to you? So let's start here, right? I immediately,
jumped
thought
the
about
Belmo
this.
side.
No, but
yes.
I took to the YouTubes. All right, you did. You broke the story. I took to the YouTubes, put this out there. I wanted to know what the testing was about. Did Belmo break any rules? Because in the Masters rules,
you're disqualified if you don't give bowling balls when they ask for testing.
Right, but it's not clear if. So I guess it's not technically the start of competition, so that didn't really matter.
Right, but it was also not anything to do with the tournament as well.
But we didn't
separately.
We didn't know that.
Sure, we didn't know that.
Or did he? We don't know. Right. He might. So he may have been told that, but he didn't put that in his post.
Possibly.
Right. So, but he clearly wasn't disqualified. Otherwise, he would have told people that he was disqualified.
Right.
Right. So they would have said, hey, this is voluntary testing. And then,
was it voluntary testing though? Did they just?
It was because many people declined the testing,
and they never had their stuff tested.
Right. They didn't have to. But the thing that was different here is that he took it to social media and basically tried to make it seem like the USBC was being bad guys for testing equipment.
Right.
And that,
which is against the Masters.
It's voluntary. So like you didn't have to put that out there. Does it seem weird to you? Like you don't have to show everything that's going on, I guess, but he took it to the masses and kind of said, hey, is this weird to you? And I said, absolutely not. Give them your bowling balls. If you're the best player in the world, I want to see what you're using.
I said the same.
It doesn't make a difference if you get that ball or if you get a different ball. Now I know other people are like, I want to see him being touched. I want to see this and that. Then again, they just
why though?
If it's voluntary, then why does it matter? They're not going to take your bowling balls away. It's voluntary. It doesn't have anything to do with the tournament if it's voluntary. Or else he would have been kicked out. Said, if you don't give us your bowling balls, you're out. He should have known the rule.
Well, along with
it technically wasn't under any rules.
Yeah, but if they ask for your bowling balls and say, if you don't give them to us, you cannot bowl, you're disqualified.
That's different.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If they said that to him, then, but he obviously knows it's voluntary, so then he's just going to say no. But why does it matter at that point, right? Because they're not going to ban him from the tournament. They just want They just want to test him. Okay, here you go. That's what I'm saying. It's not that big. It's not. He made it more of a bigger deal than it needed to be, in my opinion.
And so this is what I'm getting at is, and again, this is pure speculation here because, as we'll get to in a minute with his second post, we'll get that in a second. Is he kind of planting the seed of doubt here in the USBC?
Because with the post he did, yes.
In this first post.
That's what I'm getting at. Like if you declined it, like I think Sarah or Paige said, Tom Doherty or Daugherty, however you pronounce it, he declined as well. But I don't recall him putting out a statement on the internet. And that's what I'm saying.
Well, I feel like
if you're going to put it out there on the internet, you're basically, now we get to judge you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're absolutely right.
I mean, I just don't understand, like, what What has the USBC technically done to make them not believe that they wouldn't be testing the correct stuff behind a black curtain?
Well, I mean, you got to remember they're on probation now. So
Storm is on probation.
Storm is on probation. So, I mean, I guess you want to make sure that they're doing it right so that way you don't get the company that you represent in trouble.
Right. So, and you know, a good point that, you know, I heard last night too, and I'll give Sweep the Rack credit. You know, he said, the point is, if it's behind a black curtain, you're just giving a little bit of doubt, right? Like, so if it's not in the open, so Jeff Riggles said testing was always in the open during the PBA.
Yeah,
always.
Back in the day with a handometer.
Sure. It doesn't matter. The point is, testing was always in the open. You could watch your balls be tested.
Sure.
All right. So when it's behind a black curtain, all you're doing is creating doubt, regardless of whether or not anything bad is going on. You're just creating the doubt.
I don't
not
see it
saying
that way.
that something bad is happening.
No, but I don't see it that way.
See, I see the other side of it.
I'm nervous for myself.
I see USBC
if they're going to try and
protecting ball companies here. I see this a totally different way. They want to. I think they were soloing out balls that they already thought were failing tests.
Well, yeah, right. They're double checking,
and they didn't want anyone to see which balls they were soloing out.
That's a possibility.
I totally agree with you there.
I didn't even think about that.
So I think it's a protection towards the ball companies because, let's say Belmo watches them test balls, watches them fails, goes back to Storm and say, "Hey, why did my stuff fail?"
All this stuff. Well, I'm sure that Storm knew it was coming. They don't know.
Well, we don't know that.
If you're on probation,
that's speculation.
I'm sure you kind of
speculation.
Yeah, it is speculation,
yeah,
but at the same time,
if you're on probation,
dude,
you kind of know, like they're going to be looking at our stuff closer than ever before, right?
And there's no way that only testing bowling balls at the Masters is what caused them to fail. There's no or caused them to.
No, they already had failures.
Right. They've had to have been testing balls for months.
Well, they have to have a percentage rate, right?
Can we also throw in there, because I know we're going to get to it, but the USBC's hardness level is 73.
Yeah, correct.
Probably with a 2-point swing. So let's say 71, 72 is their hardness level, right? So let's just put that in there for perspective. So when we get down to the other stuff, people understand the differences.
Okay, so Belmont puts this post out, and it just is just weird. He just says it's weird, and then radio silence, right? So I was under the assumption that he was asked to test his bowling balls. I just hate saying testing balls. It's very odd sounding.
That's why I say equipment.
Yeah, test his equipment. And to me, that's like, okay, he was asked to test his stuff and he didn't present his equipment.
Right.
Okay. So to me, that sounds like he was asked by an official to test his bowling balls and he denied them. And if you read the rules,
he should be disqualified, right?
So as an outsider, I was under the assumption that he has broken the rules and he is now disqualified. But again,
it's hard because they're in Vegas, we're in here, we're just getting everything.
And
he
was.
You think he's gone,
right? And but competition technically hasn't started yet. So fast forward to Tuesday morning or afternoon, I forget when the announcement comes out. USBC makes this statement, right? So I can't read the whole thing. Sorry. An investigation shows that a percentage of these ball models measured below the USBC required hardness level. Let's see, of the approval sample submitted by Storm. Storm collaborated with USBC after being notified of this testing. Then we got the 6 models: Phase 4, Electrify Solid, Trend 2, Global Altered Reality, Global Wolverine, Grip, Roto Grip, UFO Alert, Grip. And then effective March 30th, which was yesterday, 2022, these ball models are prohibited from use in USBC national tournaments, including but not limited to Masters, US Open, USBC Open Championships, US Open, USBC Women's Championships, PWBA Tour events, USBC Junior Gold, Youth Open Championships, USBC Intercollegiate Championships, USBC Team USA Trials, USBC Senior Masters, and USBC Senior Queens. These ball models remain USBC approved. Each USBC competition, whether tournament or league, has the option to adopt USBC's national tournament rule prohibiting use of these balls or to continue to allow their use. USBC has shared this national tournament rule with Storm and has Storm support. Storm will offer owners of the affected balls the option to exchange their balls for new product. Blah blah blah. Okay, so the exchange program has not come out yet. So that is the USBC announcement. So Sarah, it feels like USBC, we're probably going to remove them from all the approved list as per Spectre, and Storm managed to talk them down to the current agreement. Sarah, I have to agree with you. It almost does seem like Storm was feeling like maybe they
had some
were
words.
a little financially affected, and maybe USBC is feeling bad. Now, the problem with that is the USBC is the governing body, and it's their job to implement the rules and not feel bad for Storm. So Sarah just said she thinks that sorry, Anthony had to step out and fix the problem here.
My father's got knee replacements, so I am doing if there's issues. We have a leak from something.
Good.
Sorry.
It happens. Anyway, so she was just saying that what we were talking about earlier, that the USBC is kind of maybe giving a hand to Storm, basically saying like,
how far have we gone with that?
Yeah, well, we've only gotten so far as her comment. So basically saying, they maybe talked USBC off the ledge a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure they did, because if you think about it, I think we talked about it a little bit prior to the show, and my dad is sitting at home nursing his knee because he now has a metal one, and he told me that he saw an article that said that Storm sold roughly 28,000 Spectres.
Yeah,
and to be honest with you, that wasn't a popular ball by any means really here, and I can tell you we've drilled like 20 of phase 4s in altered reality. So I'm assuming that the amount that they would have to give back with the $50 drill credits and all the replacement bowling balls, I mean, you're almost talking that this company,
it's multi-million dollars.
Yeah, you're talking this company's going to take a huge hit.
Is
the USBC going to find them as well? So they probably said, hey, we'll take them out of this, but please let our league players use it. And that's where we kind of get into the stuff that I talked to people today about.
Well, let's hold on for that real quick. So what I want to do before we get into that is, for anybody that doesn't really understand, let's just real quick, if you missed our video with Ron Hicklin, let's talk about why hardness matters real quick.
Yeah. So do you want me to go do it?
If you want to.
Basically, he was on the show last week, 2 weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago.
And we talked about, he asked me why hardness, or what makes the softer ball better. The softer ball is able to compress more going down lane, which is able to give it a bigger footprint. So when that ball wants to hook or sees the friction, it's going to be able to create a little bit more friction to that lane, and it's going to be able to create a better entry angle, or just in general, friction creates strikes, as we've heard from the great Mo Pinnell. So a ball that's softer is going to be able to create more friction on that lane, compress, and give us a better angle to strike in the pocket, or it's going to give us a better carry percentage, even though I hate that word. It's going to be able to read that pattern better. So it is going to give people more of an advantage. Now on the house shots, for example, it might not give us, we were just talking about we were telling a customer about this, when there's already the taper in the pattern, because it depends on how much from front to back, side to side, there is a taper. If there's more of a taper where there's less oil down lane and it doesn't cliff off, the softness of the ball, yeah, it might make a little bit more of a difference. I'm sure it does. I don't know the statistics of it, but when you have a very flat pattern from front to back and side to side, a softer ball is going to give you more. It's going to create the taper because it's going to be able to suck onto that lane, adhere to that lane better. Sucking on the lane, that's how I think of it. It sucks right onto the lane, and it slows down better and is able to strike or create more area. Yeah. And Ron Hicklin put a video on it, and the guy had like 5 or 6 or 7 more boards of area.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, he actually soaked his purple, and it was about a 10-point difference.
Yeah.
What does a 3-point difference do? We don't really know.
Right, but I mean, still.
Didn't he say he did have one that was like that?
He did. He put it outside.
A pretty big difference.
He put it outside in the cold, and it got to like 77 or 76. Yeah. His normal one was like 72, I think, or 73, and then the one he altered was 63, I believe.
So basically, what it comes down to is a softer ball just kind of gives you
more,
a little bit more area.
Right.
It slows the ball down a little bit on a harder pattern so that the ball can read on the lane.
Right.
a little bit better.
It can read the lane a little bit better, give you a little more area because it can create more of a taper. It's able to slow down and create more when there's more cliffs on the sides or in the back of the pattern or the side of the pattern. That's kind of how I look at it, which is why urethane is awesome on those patterns.
Right. And it's helped. I mean, urethane's helped me wildly on the harder stuff on the Open Championships pattern. So let's try to figure out or discuss why this might have happened. So like, how does Storm and no one else, like, we have to assume USBC has been testing everybody, right? They can't just single out, unless you want to really be a conspiracy theorist.
If they singled out just Storm,
right, based off of Rash's comments or
right,
or something like, because that's a big conspiracy theory, is that, you know, Rash made his big ugly comments on TV and now USBC is going after Storm, which I think is absolutely insane. I think that's crazy talk.
Where is he now? Oh, sorry. Did that come out?
It might be fun to talk like that, but I think that's crazy. I would never say that would be reality. But you have to imagine that they're testing everybody, right? They've got to be testing,
like Paige said,
and Motive.
TD or Tom, whatever.
Tom Doherty. Yeah,
I don't pronounce the last name right. He declined. So obviously they're testing Brunswick players as well. It's not just one side of this event.
So how is it that one company all of a sudden had something different happen to their bowling balls compared to others?
I mean, you look at supply chain, I guess. During COVID, there's a possibility that, you know, the products they're getting are altering, or they're not creating the same cover as they expect when they first test these bowling balls.
Did you guys see Storm's statement about this?
They did say something about that, right?
They said that nothing changes from the time that they send them for approval and when they're manufactured.
Yeah, they did say, I think I sent it to you, Kyle, that they say that the finishing stages is what affects it, which I could see because all those balls are shiny.
So yeah, they also said the finishing stages and cover stock affects the different equipment used to test. And that's why testing actually passes.
This is what's weird. So the late breaking Storm announcement is: Storm takes pride in our people, products, and process. We're humbled with the outpouring of support from the bowling industry throughout the United States and world, and we will continue to demonstrate our unwavering support towards bowling as we have for 30 years. I would just like to pause on that for a second, because all of these people, and I don't want to offend anybody that's watching right now, but all of these people that are putting the Storm logo up in their picture, as much as like we like to rag on USBC for not following rules, but not enforcing rules or whatever, there's no way that I believe that the USBC is going after a single company and attacking a company
who pays them,
right, and then
thousands and thousands of dollars,
and then suddenly faking that a ball is illegal. If you think that they're attacking a bowling ball company, you're out of your mind, and you pay a company for bowling balls, and you're gonna put their logo up in your profile picture
while you have to send your equipment back to them.
Right? Like, come on, like.
I mean, listen, it is a little, you know.
At the end of the day, brand loyalty exists.
I get brand loyalty. I understand, but
Storm's acting like there's nothing wrong.
I know, but yes, I get it. And I'll tell you what,
the Spectra was illegal, and you guys said they had to do that.
They painted a beautiful picture. I will tell you, because between Belmo's Facebook posts and their Facebook posts, they have painted a beautiful picture to make USBC look like the bad guy.
Right. And we're not saying that it's, you know, we're not saying Storm did it purposely either. We're not bashing them.
Right.
Stuff happens. Like, we get it. But like it seems to be like the USBC, I think I was on the Twitter, not a war. I was on a thing yesterday, and I was talking to some guy.
Tweet Storm.
Yeah, and the guy's like, well, you bashed him like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, but I did a little more investigation, got some information. Stuff can happen. But the USBC, for the first time that I can really recall, is actually doing the job, right? They found out, well, people are like, how can you approve it and then not approve it? Well, obviously there's a problem in the manufacturing process. If Storm doesn't think there is, then fine, show us the data. They said they are. Let's see it. But also USBC hasn't posted anything, so let's give both guys a chance to
let's
share.
See the data.
Right. But I mean, how can you act like you did nothing wrong when, I mean, if they're testing multiple balls and a high percentage of them are failing, obviously there is a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
But did they calibrate the durometer? But if they keep failing and they keep using different durometers, then obviously.
Yeah. At some point, it's
not the durometer.
Right.
But Kyle, back to all the social media stuff between Storm and Belmo and that. Did you see Storm's video they put out with the Joel Osteen quote?
No.
Like about new beginnings and stuff?
No, I did not see this. Is it ugly?
You'll have to check it out.
Not good.
It's just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's like back to what you were saying, like they're painting a picture of being attacked. Like it was another example that they think they are being targeted.
Yeah. So let me finish this statement. So we strive to be honest and open in our communication, demonstrating both empathy and integrity. Taking care of our customers is of the utmost importance. All Storm balls are manufactured based on specific ball approvals granted by the USBC, and Storm's materials and processes do not change at any point during the manufacture of approved balls. Our testing has shown that many factors, including differences in surface finish, can cause variances in durometer readings. That's very interesting. Okay, so our testing has shown that many factors, including differences in surface finish, can cause variances in durometer readings. We intend to showcase our testing procedures at a future date. So I don't know if they're talking about someone's personal finishing, like the way that they're polishing a ball, or the way they box finish or
right?
whatever.
It's gotta be their
polish a ball. Yeah, I don't know.
Because
Well,
if
you're
take
talking
Avalon
about
pads
people
to
just use Avalon pads, like you'd have to outlaw Avalon pads.
Yeah, but if you use an Avalon pad on a ball, you're bringing it down to the ball's natural surface.
Right. So basically, I don't know if we went over this, but when a ball goes to USBC approval, it is not at factory finish. It is at 500. That's why when you go to the approval list, you click on them, they're all super, super dull. They're at 500. So they get approved at 500 and not at their factory finish. So like they're saying, when they finish the ball, it changes the durometer. But as Kyle, we talked about it again. Wouldn't it only matter what the finish is after everything's done, or what the hardness is after everything's done? The finishing touches have been put on the ball. Why does it have to be 500? Now I don't think we have that answer.
Right, we don't.
But that's a thought process going into it. That way.
I mean, that's actually bringing up.
It should be. I'm sorry. It should be all of it, because you could, if you because you can bring a ball down to 500, you can bring it up to 1,000, you can bring it up to 5,000, you can bring it up to polished. Like, it should be tested at all of those stages. Not to make it more work for anybody, but it should be tested at all of those stages, because you can bowl with it at any of those stages.
Right. I agree. But what I'm talking about is all these balls seem to have polish on them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and people are saying maybe the polish is making them softer.
You mean most of the,
I'm curious.
Except for the electrified, but
I'm curious.
The electrified comes polished. It's a solid piece, but I'm pretty sure they polished that ball up.
I'm actually very curious because there's so many different cleaners on the market right now.
Absolutely.
What if a chemical in a cleaner is softening?
But you got to remember, if they're failing at multiple levels, I'm sure they're pulling them off the shelf too, because we did our hand test today.
I'm definitely sure they pulled some off the shelf.
Well, we did an altered reality and a phase 4 that haven't been thrown yet. Now, we are not scientists, so we are telling you that this is not 100% accurate, but we had readings balls that didn't even get to 70 on our hand one. And like we said
phase
before,
4 never got over 70.
The USBC is 73. Yeah. So are we 3 points off? Maybe. But if none of them are getting to 70, then I mean, it's got to be close.
So let me continue here. The vast majority of all competitions in the United States and worldwide have continued to allow the Storm Roto Grip and 900 global balls that are affected by the USBC National Tournament exclusion rule to remain in play. These balls continue to be USBC approved for well over 95% of all other tournaments worldwide. We'll get to that in a minute. We understand that at this time there are many customers who have questions regarding their products and the exchange process. We will be sharing the details of this voluntary process as soon as possible. Our customers, pro shops, team around the world, and the dedicated people who work at our manufacturing plant in the United States every day continue to be our priority as we navigate the USBC National Tournament exclusion rule. So let me back up to...
That's a lot of reading.
Yeah, let me back up to that paragraph where it says, Storm's materials and processes do not change at any point during the manufacture of approved balls. So they're basically saying nothing changes during the approval process, right? Which that's great.
Fine.
That's fine. Our testing has shown that many factors, including differences in surface finish, can cause variances in durometer readings. So is that we don't know if it's their surface finish or a polish that you could put on a spinner or whatever. So like, is it that's important to know, right? So they're going to release that information. That'll be very important to know whether it's the polish that they're putting on the ball or that who knows if it's one of the polishes that you purchase and apply by hand. That's important to know, and how that affects the surface of the ball. But I assume, like you said, that the test that the USBC is doing is bringing the ball back down to some sort of...
Yeah, they bring it to 500.
Right.
So the ball's not where it's supposed to be. But what they're saying is basically is that their ball, nothing changes, right? But what they're trying to kind of hide is, yeah, when we finish the balls, they must be getting softer.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, do you mean like when they test balls on the fly, they sand them to 500?
No, they keep it the same.
No,
in the pre-approval.
Right, in the actual approval process.
Right, it's in
because I was going to say, if they sand them
in that
down
voluntary,
right when they test,
yeah,
it's definitely not going to be softer because it's going to be hotter.
Well, and not only that, but I would have denied them also if I knew that they were sanding the bowling ball down.
Don't change my surface.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's it's going to go to 500. But what they're kind of hiding is, yeah, when we change all this stuff, we put this stuff to polish, we do this, we do that, we do this, we do that. We have data that tells us it gets softer. That's basically what they're saying. Yeah. Right. I mean, they're not denying that it didn't happen.
Need the data.
Right, but they say they have data to change. So if your ball, I guess the rules in terms of how it used to be were 500 and then you test, and if it's approved, okay, it's all good to go. But when you change the surface to it, whatever Storm does, now it's becoming illegal. So does that mean you're intentionally making a softer ball if you had data for that?
I guess we'll find out.
And I'm not trying to say they did it purposely, but if they have data for it, then obviously...
I mean, how do you say you have data and not drop it if it's supporting yourself?
Well, the USBC didn't as well. So
but the USBC is a organization.
Yeah, but
Storm's a company. They could easily defend their name in a day by
sure, absolutely. But when I don't want to jump, but can I jump to what we did today? I mean, I made a few calls, kind of found out some stuff. Can I jump or
go ahead? Go ahead.
All right.
So I made a few calls today, and I basically now I lost my train of thought because I had to ask you.
Made a few calls, USBC.
I called USBC and asked them how. I don't even know where I'm
USBC,
going with that.
right?
Oh my goodness.
Completely
New
forgot.
York State USBC.
Yeah, are you trying to talk about?
I don't know what happened because I forgot what we were talking about.
Oh my God,
let's go to Belmonte's second post.
My mind's going a mile an hour.
Let's go to Belmonte's second
so fast.
post.
All right, so we'll get back to that. So basically, so that was Storm's response today. So that also coincides with Belmo's second post here, and he's also saddened by the news the other day. Every single Storm Rotogrip global employee, from the ones who pour to the ones who throw the ball, will continue to do what we do best. I'm going to skip down because everybody's read all of these. Where do I want to go? So Storm's commitment to you, the bowler, will be our first priority. Please be patient with Storm as this news affects so many. We will work as fast and as diligently as possible. I hope we fight this decision. Our customers deserve to eventually hear our side of the story. I wish I could share more of the behind the scene feelings and communications, but for now, we will lick our wounds and find a way to get back up. So
basically, he's saying that I knew what's going on and I didn't want to tell you.
I just hate the.
Sorry, did that slip out of my mouth?
See, I just hate the lick our wounds comment.
Yeah, like
just another insinuation.
Right. There's just it's. Yeah, it's a lot of like he kind of knew, but regardless if he knew or didn't know, it's just it's a lot of being attacked. There's just too much of being attacked in there by the USBC, and yeah, we all got new bowling balls. You know what I mean? He got an altered reality. I got a phase 4.
Mitch had a good question.
Yeah. Well, Mitch,
by the way, hello, Mitch.
If it comes out that USBC testing equipment is flawed, will they own up to it and make things right? I mean, I would hope so.
That's a big screw up, man.
But I mean,
I'd probably just close the order.
But again, here's my question: how could there be testing? How could their testing be flawed if they're testing across all companies? Right? They have to be testing all companies.
That's an assumption. They have
I know.
not came out
Yeah,
and
but
said
they
we have tested
but
all around the board.
Tom TD whatever said that he declined the testing as well. So they're obviously asking everybody. It's not just one side of the story
Well,
here.
we know they're asking Storm and Brunswick.
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever motive, who cares? I'm sure they're asking everybody. They're not just going to ask one person.
So
Phil
let's get to the let's get to the another big issue for me is the national versus local decision. This one is what really, really upsets me. So for those of you that don't know or didn't hear or don't understand, right now, these 6 bowling balls are only illegal if you are bowling one of the national tournaments, whether it's a PWBA, a Queens, a USBC Queens, a Open Championships, the Masters, youth, national youth. Like what did they say? I forget. Can you bring that back up, Austin? The first Junior Gold, Youth Open Championships, USBC Intercollegiate Championships, USBC Team Trials, Senior Masters, Senior Queens. Those are all the tournaments that are illegal to use this ball. But they have deemed it legal at all the state levels and local levels unless your state association or local association decides to ban them. So Anthony's got some strong feelings on that one.
Yeah, so I did call the USBC today, and I'm not going to give out names and what's going on, but basically they announced that they were allowed to be used in New York State
at the
New York State tournament.
Open tournament.
Right, and so basically I said, regarding these bowling balls, how can you make them legal if they're not legal in the OCs? And kind of what I got was there's not a lot of information being trickled down yet.
This is the state association that you talked to.
State association. So they didn't really have a lot of information for me. So I then, because of how I am, I called HQ and I called the
rules.
Yeah. I called the rules committee and I said, I kind of called the guy, super nice guy, and I said, what's, am I right? The durometer is 73, correct? The guy said, yep, it's 73. I said, okay, well, what's USBC statement on these bowling balls that have been excluded? And they said to me, well, they failed the hardness test. And I said, so does that mean they're under? And they said, yes. So I said, so if they're illegal in terms of hardness, how can you put them into any play and have it be fair play? The guy never answered me. So then I proceeded to say, I wasn't trying to be a jerk. I said, but then I'll just pull out my 6 and 7 purple hammer and make it fair, right? And he said, no, that ball's been banned for being too soft. So there's obviously a problem because those balls are too soft, but I can't use my soft bowling ball. That's illegal. So the USBC, I defended them the other day, by the way, for the first time in a while. And I'm now not going to defend them and say, if you're going to say this, then these balls, illegal is illegal.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, no matter what, if you step out of bounds with the football, you can't run for a touchdown.
Unless you're the other team.
Yeah, I guess so. If you have
we're making a
if you have the football in your hands, you can't step out of bounds and run for a touchdown because you're out of bounds. You can't do that.
Right.
Look at Tom Brady he also had soft equipment. But whatever that happened, they got fined and stuff. But so now we're going to go into states and I'm going to go bowl NEBAs and they're going to allow these bowling balls. So why aren't I allowed to use my purple hammer?
Right.
I mean, rules are rules. The USBC is there to govern and to protect the integrity of bowling. And they finally
protect companies.
They finally did their job and then said, yeah, we'll let them use it wherever they want, just not national events. How is that fair, people?
And not just certain events, but now you have contracted players that are contracted with Motive or Big or Swag or Brunswick.
Right.
And now they're not allowed to use the Storm products. So they're handcuffed into their legal bowling balls.
Right.
While the Storm guys are not allowed to use and I'm talking if they're bowling at a state tournament or something.
So now everybody can use. They can basically get an unfair advantage. And if you're looking for a fair advantage across the board, I mean, we'll talk about, Chris Barnes is leading the all events, I believe, out in the OCs.
Yes.
Listen, he's going to be 95% of the field every single year.
Regardless.
Yeah. So, okay, I get that. It's still not fair, but ban it within the first 2 weeks and ban it from play the rest of the time. And you know what? Fine. I'll get over it. But now you're going to make me go bowl somebody else who's got the ball. And if I'm correct, which I read the statements, I don't think you can get these balls anymore. I think they're either going back.
Well,
they can't sell them.
Someone that had a question about that. They filled out the replacement form and were getting a Wolverine.
Yeah. So if you're getting a Wolverine, you're not getting it. They're going to contact you.
Actually, that's the question though. Like,
what if they already shipped?
Unless you're going to the OCs. But my thing is okay. So can people come in my shop and buy them now?
Right. Because
they said I can still sell them. So I mean. Listen, illegal is illegal. The rules are the rules, and you know what? The USBC is supposed to be here to protect and govern the bowling. And right now, yeah, sure, they finally did it and said, you can use it whenever you want, just not when you're in our tournament.
Right.
What the heck? And listen, I'm not trying to be the guy who hates everybody and blah blah blah, but I'm a rule guy, and now you're gonna tell me that these people that I'm bowling against, in other events are gonna be able to use it. Fine. You want to give people the balls in the OCs, or you don't. Whatever, they already bowled with it, fine, so be it. I don't really care if they've already bowled with it. But now people who have these bowling balls in states, if you have them and you can't get them now, if they discontinue the product or however it works, now they have an unfair advantage because now they have a ball that nobody else can get. So the USBC needs to make a statement. First of all, they need to show the data, and we the people. Demand to know. I mean, and this is a reason why the USBC, and I'll be quite frank, and I'm very straightforward. This is why the USBC is failing. They're failing the players. They're protecting a company. I understand, but that's not right. It's not the rules of the game
that we know of. They're protecting a company with the information that we know of.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
Agreed.
Okay,
we need more information.
I don't think I need more information because if you're telling me.
I'm good with the information that I have.
I've got 20 people here right now using an altered reality, and they're going to have to replace them and put drilling certificates in it. And you don't think that the altered reality was way more popular than the Spectre? And you don't think Phase 4 was way more popular than the Spectre?
Phase 4 was probably more popular than the altered.
Exactly my point. So now you're going to put $50 drill certificates in each one of those balls that you have to return. And you got to replace a ball. So how much money is it going to come down to? How much can Storm take? And at that point, the USBC, they came to an agreement, by the way, because when I called the USBC HQ, they said they came to an agreement that they can't use them at national events, so you can use them there. The USBC, in my opinion, if they came to an agreement, is now protecting Storm.
Right. Bad move.
Because now they're saying, we don't want you to go under.
Right.
If it comes to that point, I'm not saying they would or not because I have no idea about their financials.
This is super speculation, but
it's not really speculation. But they're going to take such a big hit that how can you recover from that?
We know that. We know that it's tens of millions of dollars. But my point is,
millions of dollars.
Sure, it was $1 million, $1 million-ish dollars that they took.
Yeah,
they took a hit to replace the Spectre.
Yeah, but they're going to overprice that.
Right, but let's multiply that by 6.
I mean,
you've got many.
Between you got 2 or 3 of those balls, you're only going to get probably half of that.
I mean, you got to think you're altered in your
half of that.
I mean, your alters in Phase 2, Phase 4 is worse. So I don't. If I said Phase 2, I apologize. It's Phase 4.
I'd put replacing the Phase 4 and
the altered and the Phase 4 are probably the 2 biggest ones. I'm guessing.
Right. I'm just saying
it's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And that's a big deal.
I have a good thought about this, and I just thought about it. Instead of going through all this drama with the durometer readings, why don't all these bowling ball manufacturers give money to the USBC to put a testing
facility inside their
in place?
Yep,
I mean,
agreed.
Think about it this way too.
That's where I was going at the end of this.
Are you going to go to the PBA now?
Yeah,
why don't we? Yeah, statement because they're saying you can use these. Yeah, go ahead.
So why don't we talk about the PBA statement real quick? You can bring that up. So PBA releases a statement. This is only partial. All 6 of those bowling balls remain allowed in the PBA competition through the remainder of the 2022 PBA season. The PBA has no data or indication that the USBC certified bowling balls would fail field tests. Again, the 6 aforementioned bowling balls are allowed in all PBA conducted competition, including the upcoming PBA playoffs, PBA Tour finals, PBA 50 National Tour, and PBA Regional Tour events. The timing of Tuesday's USBC ruling during the USBC Masters prompted the PBA to grant its members complimentary drillings on the player services trailer for bowling balls, replacing the newly prohibited equipment. While the USBC Masters is a PBA Tour major championship, the event is conducted by the USBC under USBC rules. I have 2 points that I need to get
Just go.
over the
Go.
get
You can do it.
through here.
You can talk about it.
So in the first part, the PBA goes by a 70D reading.
So it's lower than the USBC
by quite
specifications.
By 3 points, right? On the durometer reading. So we don't know what the official readings are because I know that Storm says it's 73 to 75 or whatever on their just by whatever.
Right. Of course, let's go by their specifications.
Their website, yeah. But let's say on all of their field tests on the PBA, they all match or meet 70. So on the PBA, sure, all their bowling balls might be legal. So that's all well and dandy. But that doesn't mean that's good for me. I don't bowl on the PBA stops except for we might bowl some regionals every once in a while. We might bowl
one or two. We've never done it, but we're trying to get out.
Yeah.
At the same time, doesn't the PBA only allow USBC certified balls?
That's
right.
So they're making an exception for this tournament.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
Was
definitely
that written in the bylaws.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing we need to talk about is, at the end of the day, if bowling wants to be more successful, the USBC needs to be the final say, and then the PBA needs to follow it because it's the governing body, right? But now they're saying, hey, nah, we're not going to follow what you say because ours don't read that way. Well, the other thing
Mitch,
is
I was praying that it was the idle Helios.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We don't have information about what the readings were, how close they were to failing USBC. So there's a possibility they could be legal on the tour, but how can you have a tour hardness level that's lower than the average guy?
Agreed.
Make it the same.
No, make it higher.
It should be higher.
Because then you don't have a problem with the USBC.
And USBC should have the same exact hardness reading.
Or the PBA should be higher, in my opinion. Because then you
the
have
PBA
no
will be harder.
Right. Which means that you don't have a problem with USBC.
But then you're going to force the ball manufacturer's not going to make lower.
That's what they did back in the day.
In the old days, the PBA reading was always harder so that the ball manufacturers would make their balls to be at the higher hardness level to match the PBA so that their bowling balls would always be on TV.
Yeah, but how many different balls they make a year?
Yeah, but I mean,
I understand that, but the point was that they would always want their bowling balls to be on TV and on the PBA tour, so they would never have to worry about being certified on USBC, and they would always be on the PBA tour.
I mean, it's definitely really hard to. You can't pinpoint anything because this isn't the PBA's fault.
No, not by any stretch.
So they're just trying to go, but the thing is they kind of contradict what the USBC is saying. So you would have hoped you had unity there, and now we don't have unity. So you have USBC who hasn't been, let's be honest, they haven't been the greatest in the past few years. You've got the PBA who's doing fairly well. Look at all the money they're putting in, and they're trying to make a statement. And now they're kind of dividing each other, and it makes it extremely hard for one sport to come under one umbrella and flourish. Not like bowling is really flourishing, but we here at least we have a ton of young people who come in two-handed, one-handed. Doesn't matter. It seems to be getting some popularity around here. But I'm just saying, now you don't have even the same rules anymore. And isn't the PBA sanctioned by the USBC? Doesn't it have to be? Don't we give them money from our sanction money to?
I can't confirm or deny that.
We'll have to find that out.
I think that's just for USBC events.
But wouldn't you want it all to be across the board?
Yes, I would like it to be uniform.
Well,
yes.
My example that I used the other day to you guys was NASCAR. They all have a certain spec list that they have to go off of, and every single infraction they have is a fine.
Yeah, I mean, is Storm going to get fined for this?
They haven't said. The first one they did.
That's what I'm saying.
This one I don't know.
Are they going to fine because it's like, oh, well, we made an agreement. You can use them here, but you can't use them here. But also somebody else said, how can you be half banned? We're going to use the word excluded because you can't use banned because they're not out.
Not technically banned.
And you are 100% right. How is it fair that you can't use it here, but you can use it here?
Right.
It's either all or nothing. Illegal is illegal.
At the biggest competition.
Basically, what they're saying is that anything below national tournaments is a joke. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
don't know if they're saying that, but
sure, but that's the visual.
So then the
right?
other question is, if they do ban these balls, how many people's honor scores get thrown out? Because there's a boatload of honor scores that altered reality.
But all they ask is the serial number on the ball. That's all they ask. They don't ask what the serial number is, what the ball is.
Oh, is a serial number on the ball? Yes,
that's
or
all
no?
they ask. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't even know. Last time I signed one of those, I wrote Donald Duck. I don't remember.
All right, so let's get to the second part of that comment or that release was that all PBA members will have will have complimentary drilling access for their bowling balls.
Right.
Right.
Keyword.
Members.
Screw those amateurs.
Okay. The Masters has 400 and something players at the event. How many of those are members? Like 100 and something, roughly. Let's give or take. So that's all amateur bowlers.
And we did have
we have at least a couple real local guys here, plus the surrounding area.
Yeah.
Regardless, we're talking about all these amateur guys that show up with their equipment. We know guys that lost a few bowling balls, and they don't have access to free equipment out there. I'm just talking about timing. I know when they find out the bowling ball's illegal, the bowling ball's illegal.
If it's illegal, it's illegal.
But you've got these guys out there that have zero access to equipment. And what if they have six bowling balls and 3 of them are illegal?
I completely get what you're saying. I don't disagree with you, but
the timing was horrendous.
The timing's horrendous, but at the same time, what do you want them to do? Hold it until Nationals? And would you rather have them hold it till Nationals is over, bring it out in July, and say for the next coming year, these balls are now banned? And then guess what? All those people beat you? Would you rather have that? No, you wouldn't. You'd rather know right now. I guess the Masters, maybe they should have let them use it for the Masters.
I wish I knew when they knew.
People.
You know what I mean? I wish I knew when they knew.
Right. It's a
Could
select
they at
400
least
people.
know the day before so that Masters didn't start yet?
Well, if they're using it for the Masters, maybe they should have let it go for the Masters.
Well, like Kyle and Brad are drilling bowling balls at Darren Tang's house, and that's great.
Why can't you let it go just for the Masters?
Because if someone figures out you knew that the ball
No. I'm saying you release this statement, but say the Masters is excluded from this list due to the fact that blah 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 blah.
I think
and then people will say, "Oh, the Nationals, blah 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 blah."
Well,
but
I got to be honest. I think the reason that wasn't an option was because they just tested another ball and it was 98% fail rate. So I think most people would be like, "Oh, well, you tested the ball soft, and now you're gonna make an exception because of the timing of when you tested
just
it
for the
soft."
Masters, because you know that there's probably about 25 people in all seriousness that can win that."
Yeah,
right.
But you're still gonna have.
You're looking at your high end pros.
You're still gonna have some salty people.
Oh, of course you are. But you're gonna have it regardless. The timing was bad. There's no right answer.
Right.
Right now, there's no right answer.
There's never going to be a right answer.
No, there is. Just take him out of play.
That's not the right answer.
It definitely is.
Currently, that's not the right answer.
Then I'm gonna go to a wood bat league with baseball and use a metal bat.
Yeah, but a bat's a bat.
No, it's not. A metal one goes farther than
I'll go to a college game. You can go to Dick's and buy a bat.
That data has been released and proven already.
But you can.
We haven't seen the data from either side yet.
Oh, we haven't. But I'm just saying, if the balls are soft,
like
illegal is
what if we
illegal.
get the data from USBC and it's a 1% under what they usually ban stuff for? So they said, we're gonna take a deeper look.
Well, then they're gonna look really bad because they just took them out of play. I don't mind if it's 1%, but obviously.
Here's the thing: when you
but wait, hold on. They said it was a high percentage.
What's the number? With the Spectre, it was 98.
I'm assuming if it's a high percentage, it's got to be at least 85 to 90%.
Dude, if they had
that's a big assumption.
Fail 90% again,
it's not an assumption. It's a guess. My guess is 85 to 90% because to me that's a high percentage rate, right? The high percentage has got to be
high percentage is anything over 50%.
Because if I got
high percentage, I mean, yeah.
Because to me, if I got an 80% on any of my school tests, my mom would have threw me a party. That's a high percentage for me.
We know,
right? So how high is high? I mean,
oh my god!
I mean, I would have had a freaking party every week if I could do that.
Jeez, we know. Oh man, I just feel bad for the amateurs, and I feel bad for the guys at the OCs. Listen to this.
But it is what it is. I know,
the guys at the OCs carrying bags on the airplanes.
Yeah.
And
but the ball also doesn't make the bowler. I guess I know it would if you took one of my balls out of my bag. Yes, it would make a difference.
I mean, one of our guys, one of our buddies, Nick Galusha, literally was using another guy, Tommy's ball, 1/4 inch. Matt Fazzone, I talked to him on the phone, 1/4 inch difference in his span.
By the way, that's not easy. And I'm pretty sure Galusha has a CLT, a center line transfer, and I don't know if Tommy does. But
I did check the scoreboard. Galusha was like
Galusha bold.
140th.
Galusha gold.
130th.
Galusha gold.
But that
Galusha
could Galusha bold. Great. We're gonna get to that in a minute.
Guy's good.
Yeah.
Good.
We did have a question that I think we need to answer.
All right. How is the ruling going to affect league bowlers using the 6 balls? I can see some people saying you are a cheater using a failed ball. Yeah,
you're darn right. They're gonna say it.
They're gonna say
but
it.
it's legal.
But you're legal, man. The ball is legal. The ball is legal.
I mean, look at it this way. A lot of people use 6 and 7 purple hammers.
Yep.
So, I mean, I guess it is what it is at this point. But there's nothing you can do. If people are going to call you that, then tell them maybe you should go buy one.
Yeah.
If you can't beat them,
while they still last, maybe they might be.
If they discontinue them,
dude, they're going to be discontinued. You better put a $500 price tag on that phase 4.
I have another one coming in.
$1,000.
Maybe they canceled my order. But if they do discontinue them, how can you let people use them in league play? Because then it's an unfair advantage. And then because when you go to tournaments like Nebos or this tour are allowing them, now a select few players have them.
Right?
USBC, give us the data.
Yeah, not even give us the data. Give us the data and the
tell
statement.
You that they're going to release a statement.
They did say they're going to have a FAQ.
Frequently asked question sheet.
Yeah, because they're getting a lot of questions, and he's like, you need to check it out. And I was like, I'll definitely check it out, but if you're not going to fully ban it, then why even come out with a statement if you're not going to fully ban a bowling ball? Yeah. That's actually, you know what? I haven't even thought about that until now.
Yeah.
Because now you're just creating turmoil.
Yep.
I mean, there was turmoil the second the special.
And we had a comment earlier. He said, and I forget who it was. If you can find it, he said, "I'm new to bowling. This just looks stupid. It sucks, and it makes me not even want to bowl competitively."
Don't let it get to you. Let it get to you. Just I know it's really tough right now, and I am more of a stickler, but don't let this get to you. Bowling is still going to be there. Let's everybody's got to pull together here. Let the USBC do whatever they got to do.
We're doing a really good job of pulling together.
We're not, but let the USBC do what they have to do, and then I'm sure everything will be all right. Storm will take care of you, as they have done a pretty good job so far. They have released some statements. They've got a ball exchange for people going to the OCs. And if it's still legal in league play, there's no reason to get rid of it right now. So just hold on to your seal a little bit. Don't get too antsy. Use it. I don't think anybody's going to call anybody out, because you have to remember at the same time, you did not create this conflict. Right. That was strictly a manufacturer error.
Right.
Okay. And the USBC did identify it. Maybe they handled it incorrectly, but they did the best they could, I think, and I think we just need to see a little bit more from them now. But you didn't cause this issue, so don't worry about it. If that's the only ball you got, or if that's the ball, your favorite ball right now, finish out your season.
Pizza wings, I agree.
Just
I
keep
agree
going.
with you. Now let's talk real quick about where do we go from here. So
we can only go harder.
That's right. I agree. So we'll back up a little bit. I don't think, before we say where we go, let's talk about beginning again. I don't think anything nefarious happened. I don't think they were doing anything on purpose.
No, there's
to make the
no
balls
way.
illegal. I think something happened manufacturing wise.
Let's remember COVID, people.
Yeah.
Supply chains are short. We're not saying what bowling ball company is going to jeopardize their success, especially Storm and Rotogrip at 900.
The biggest company.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They sell a lot of bowling balls. These guys did not do it purposely, people. Let's get that through everybody's head and continue with your thought.
Yeah, so I don't think anything nefarious happened. I don't think Storm did anything bad to create this problem. I think it was an accident or an oversight or something to that effect.
In quotations.
Right. The USBC, I think, is doing the right thing as far as
they did their job,
enforcing the rules.
But give us more.
However, what they could do better is be more clear, be more transparent.
I don't understand the word transparent.
Transparent means
what do you
show us the testing.
Sure.
Not. I don't need to see them poke the ball, but the data.
The data.
You know what? Maybe
we need to understand what
this happened 2 days ago, correct?
Yeah, but we should know already, right?
Yeah, but maybe
I guess we've never asked before, right? So
maybe they need Maybe they need to put it into a sheet that we can understand.
Yes.
There's the other thing, because this is scientific crap. And listen, man, I can't even spell community, let alone understand science. So, let's give them a little bit of time to word it in the way that every show. I definitely can. I know how to spell. I'm pretty good. But let's just let's just give them an opportunity to put it into layman's terms so we can all understand what's going on.
Yep.
But I'm also going to put in there rules are rules, and they need to be upheld, and that's what the USBC is here for. So if these balls are at a very high percentage, which I think 85 above is pretty high, those balls need to be banned completely.
Yep.
And that's my stance on it. People who have them, I'm so sorry that you have them.
Yep.
But we need to. I have to go by the rules.
Yeah,
I don't throw a 6 and 7 purple hammer.
I'm just salty we don't have the data to share.
Yeah, like
I completely agree with you.
When you come out with the statement, it should be there. You shouldn't be like it's going to be out in like a week.
Yeah,
I get it.
I get it. I get it.
I
It should be like a high
Most
percentage.
other companies probably would have dropped that information.
But let me
at
ask
the
you a
same
question.
time as
You should
their
just know the percentage.
So then they're going to let the bowling balls go longer. So think about it now. So now you let the bowling balls go for a week and a half, another 2 weeks long. Now you can't ban them from the OCs.
No, I'm saying the USBC, when you come out and say these 6 bowling balls are banned, you should say, and here's why, and here's all the information.
Maybe they can't put it together the right way. That's what I'm saying. So if you let them go for another 2 weeks,
on a computer. Everything's on a computer.
I'm sure it's on the computer, but I'm saying to explain it to people, unless you just want them to put it out there and you don't understand it, say we'll have a detailed article later.
That's fine.
Well, what?
Okay, fine.
What wouldn't they understand?
I'll send it to
about
Stephanie. She can decipher it. And it'll be done.
I guess I just don't understand what would be confusing to people if they were saying these balls tested soft. Here's our data.
I'm sure that would just be the best way to put it. I mean, I get it, but maybe they're trying to go a little overkill on it.
Well, they definitely probably are because they want to back.
They have
Storm's
to back
going to put a lawsuit out. Storm.
I don't
know. That would be dangerous.
That's going to be way too much.
I don't
money.
know. The way they're saying they have data and they can defend.
Sure,
themselves,
they have data, but then what? If you have data, present it.
Yeah.
Don't be the USBC. Don't play this game because.
Well, I said the same thing.
At the end of the day, we're the ones suffering.
Storm is very active on social media.
Yeah,
we could have seen the data.
They do a pretty good job, but what I'm saying is, if you have data, then put it out there. I want to know as well. I don't want to sit here and say. What's your data? What's your data? What's your data? What's your data?
Speculating's fun.
But I want to know too. It's a cat chasing its dog's tail.
So
what was that?
All right. So where we go from here is I like your idea. I think every company should have a certified testing spot in their production facility. I don't know how that happens.
You don't think they have one?
See, they have those. What I was getting at is they should.
I don't believe that they test off the line.
They should put money towards the USBC, so the USB has a dedicated testing facility that continuously tests product.
Yeah, but I don't think they should have to send it. I'm saying, well, I guess.
But you can't test it off the line either because there's a cure time. So what do you mean by test off the line?
I'm not literally saying.
But what I'm getting at, Kyle, is so
I'm literal.
What I'm getting at, Kyle, is so instead of having these moments where it's like, oh my God, there's 6 balls that didn't pass. If they tested balls once a week, off, say Storm sends them 1 ball off the rack.
How many balls do they ruin doing that though? How many people
are
going to
ruin though?
Because if you look at look at the pros urethane bowling balls, they have big.
Well, yeah, but is that how they test them?
There's no shot they're going right in the track though.
I'm not saying it's going to go in the track. You can do it. Well, you have to do 10 spots.
Yeah,
there's a lot of surface area.
I don't know if they do the punch.
Yeah, but you don't know where anybody's track is. You're just selling the ball as a ball. So how do you know? So then
is it really?
I'm
not saying they have to test the equipment that's being brought.
Right,
I'm saying testing the equipment more often would be a quicker way to catch mistakes.
And I think and I'm just saying, okay, how many balls could they ruin? I don't know. Maybe they test these balls and then send them back. Maybe they test them with the handhelds and then send them out.
How many bowling balls?
Because pit holes happen in bowling balls, and it's a disclaimer on your label.
But how many bowling balls do the companies ruin?
That's what I'm saying.
But just off the line, do they pull bowling balls off the line just because here, go throw this one. I just want to make sure it's good or whatever. They use it on a robot or whatever. I don't know.
Mitch had a good question.
What's that?
I'd assume, Mitch, that they are testing from a bunch of different batches of these balls.
Right.
I don't know.
So basically, if they're spot checking like they're supposed to, they really, they'll have a few of the same batches, but I'm sure they're getting batches from everything. Your first batch that go to the pro staffers is always different than probably what goes to the public. And then as the public buys, if it's extremely popular ball and the turnover is high, like a phase 2 or phase 4 altered realities, I'm sure there's quite a few batches in there. I don't know how many they go through, but I'm assuming there's got to be enough different batches. So
I'd assume they didn't just test one batch.
Right. You test a bunch, I'm sure. It's not going to be.
If the
if
testing went anything like the other one that was just recently banned, that had 98% fail rate. They tested a bunch of different pitches.
If they're saying that there's a high rate, I'm sure that they're testing a load of bowling balls. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I know you don't like the timing of it, but what better place than the Masters? You got 400 people there. You got the best players in the world. Why would you not want to test the pros versus the amateurs equipment in a sense? What if it's all pro bowling balls that are softer because they have a lower durometer and they're the first ones to get the bowling balls?
It's possible.
That's speculation. I shouldn't have said that, but I'm just saying, what if mostly the pro stuff failed versus the amateurs? What if the amateurs failed more than the pros did?
I don't know. Why would they be different?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
And second of all, the pros have that ego to deny that random test. I guarantee you, no amateur would have.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, yes, sir.
Take my stuff.
Yeah. Please don't disqualify me. Please don't disqualify me.
Well, I asked Matt. I said, did they ask you to test your stuff or anybody else? He's like, no, they didn't even see me.
I think you wrote on somebody's comment, I'm nowhere near good enough for them to do that.
All right, so let's put the nail in that coffin. So let's do a quick Masters update. Current leader.
Anthony Scaccia. Oh, I didn't even go out there this year.
Simo is the current leader.
Wow. So
in the clubhouse. After A squad still has to go. He's
any polished
plus 309. He's in the C squad, so he was bowling with our boys down there.
He's probably
out there.
Everything.
So he's got 3309.
Oh, Sean Rash is bowling.
Dude, I don't know if anyone saw that burn squad yesterday.
The lofting.
Today. Oh my god.
Did you see Chris Vile was on like the lane to the left of him in the middle dot, lofting it like 30 million feet.
That's incredible.
EJ Tackett too was over his head.
Brett Spangler, the fronts are hooking more. Say no more. And all of a sudden it looked like he threw it 15 feet in the air.
See, that's surprising that
Wouldn't
he was that far left and could throw it that far because he's a very straightforward two-hander. He doesn't like.
Oh, he did not look like he has done it that far left that often.
Yeah,
like it was like a very didn't look good, but he struck.
He doesn't do all that.
But he really like upswinged it. I mean, he struck though, but he looked really good doing it. But
maybe he was throwing a backup ball. I didn't see Simo. No. So
how about 32 milliliters and you can't get it through the fronts?
Dude, seriously, like So I was talking to Matt, and he said the topography there is absolutely insane.
Okay, so the Gold Coast is an older center.
Yes, it's very old.
It's an older center, so 32 mils. But
Sarah's calling us out.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, what happened now? Knew you'd never cover it all in.
We didn't think we would. But let's
Thanks, Sarah.
Let's put it this way. I mean, you got older surface, 32 mils, and you got the guys with the highest rev rates in the world. There is no way that the fronts are ever going to hold up. I don't know if any of the fronts would hold up, especially with the burn squad on the bowling balls used today at 500 and all that. It's got to be those balls destroyed that lane. So I understand the burn squad. I don't think I necessarily agree with the burn squad in a way.
I don't know
because
how
it looks
still
silly
do it these days.
It doesn't look. It's not.
EJ Tackett's ball was over his head.
It's not bowling to me.
No.
The lofting is not bowling to me. Now maybe they have to move that far left, but there's got to be some way we can combat.
Well,
that.
at least next year they'll have all new lanes because they won't be there. They're all spider cracked by now. I mean,
15-pound
bowling balls just smashing those heads are ridiculous.
I mean, it's not even heads; it's the middle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
they were past the arrows.
They're throwing it out. Yeah,
it's the mid lane. I mean, you know what? It is what it is. But I would prefer to see not lofting that far. I don't mind if you're lofting the gutter a little bit, but I mean, when you're in the other lane, literally throwing it at -15 board on the left. Oh wait, no, that would be a lot more than I thought. That's like board 70 to board 17, and the ball picks up as soon as it. Did you see the ball picked up as soon as it hit the lane? Vi's ball, Chris Vi. He threw it. The ball literally hit the lane, and like suction cup to the lane and hooked. And I was like, how in God's name did that happen? Shouldn't have it like physics tell me it's gonna go this way, but it literally stopped and hooked.
My name is Winston posted the best comment.
What was that? I missed it. What is it?
If they've got a loft, at least let them use softer balls.
You're right. It won't spider crack that lane as hard.
Oh my goodness.
That's okay. But do we have any other questions, Austin, that we can answer? I think we did. Did we hit everything?
I mean, I can go through.
Well, I was just gonna talk about our local guys.
You keep talking about that. I'll find some questions.
Well, we also got to let the guys into the pro shop before bowling tonight.
I got to go on the roof.
Oh no. What? It's not even. Oh, it is raining.
Very hard.
But our local guys, Matt Fizzone and Nick Galusha, are out there bowling the Masters. Matt Fizzone won our local Masters here last year, so we got a free entry into the USBC Masters out in Vegas this year. And not to throw Matt under the bus, but he didn't bowl great out at the National Masters, but he did bowl very good at the OCs. So I just want to give him a shout out for that. His team bowled really good. Him and Nick were on the same team. They shot 30-69. They currently sit at 17th in the OCs, which is really, really good. Matt shot 1951 in all events.
Another night, I think he shot right around that, maybe a little more last year.
Yeah, so he's in 50th right now in the OCs. So really, really good bowling out there, Matt. And Nick Galusha out of Altamont, New York, which is my actual hometown.
Hey, my hometown.
And Austin's hometown as well.
Is where I do not reside.
Nick is at minus 77. So he shot 29-23 at the Masters, which is an absolute honor score in my opinion.
He must have had a pretty good third block.
He was close.
I think he was minus 110 yesterday.
Yeah, he was close to the cut.
So he's in 190th, which he's not going to make the cut, but he's not. But I got to tell you, that's a really honorable score out there at the Masters. So congratulations, Nick. You bowled really good this week.
Bowler of the week.
So congratulations, you are this week's bowler of the week, Nick Galusha from Altamont, New York.
All right, Mitch Young.
Hang on a second, I got to give my spiel. So remember, guys, if you would like to be bowler of the week or would like to nominate someone, go ahead, click the link in the show notes and fill out that form to be bowler of the week. Congratulations, Nick Galusha. Go ahead.
You good?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
Mitch, I did bring that up to him. They have not seen it, so I'm going to show it to him.
Yeah, totally missed the storm video.
I'm curious, Mitch, what are your thoughts on using Joel Osteen as the quote?
That's very interesting. Yeah, I totally missed that video.
I did. I jumped into the comment section on the storm page, and probably every other comment was probably shouldn't have used Joel as a quote.
I got to tell you, I get the brand loyalty and all that, but like, listen, man, the bowling balls are illegal. USBC came down with their rules, and like, I don't understand this whole like I'm with Storm thing. Like it's just I don't get it.
They're showing their loyalty. You can't be mad at them. But illegal is illegal.
Yeah.
Sarah's replying to someone else who asked a question about the balls.
Yeah. So Finley needs 100. Yeah.
Somewhat.
Some guy said lefty no love.
It's probably Carl. Oh no, it's Pizza Wings.
Andrea, I believe Sarah is halfway correct. I don't know because if it's quotations banned equipment,
it's a very interesting. That's a slippery
that
slope.
Supersedes your league deciding whether that is legal.
Right. So I guess if you want to change like a regular rule, like a bylaw, it has to be 100% vote on, or a prize fund has to be. If you vote on your prize fund at the beginning of the year, if you want to change it in the middle of the year, it has to be 100% unanimous.
Well, technically, even a bylaw, you're not really supposed to change mid-year.
You're not supposed to, but if
if it's 100%
during COVID year when you try to change the payouts.
Yep.
If you have to change something, it has to be 100% voted upon by the league. You'd have to call the rules HQ because they'll give you the answers, I guess. Well, or just wait for the FAQ sheet, the fact sheet. So that way they can tell you, because a bunch of people are probably asking the same question.
I think he's literally just asking.
I don't understand the joke. Okay, guys, it is time for us to go bowling. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. That was a fun show.
Make sure to stop by next week. Hopefully we'll have some development on this story and kind of sew and tie in all these loose ends.
Yes, loose ends, and maybe there'll be some new stories. Who knows?
Maybe some Brunswick balls will be banned next week. Let's pray no, but maybe they will.
The saga continues.
You're gonna be really
don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. Also, if you guys go down into the show notes, you can check out our mailing list for when we send out some newsletters and whatnot. Catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you can't watch the show, you can always download and listen from your major podcast outlet and give us a 5-star review while you're at it. And always check out our merch shop because you can get our sweet shirts and hats from our merch shop on Etsy. That's in the show notes too. And you can always email us at downlanepod@gmail.com and check out our recent videos on the YouTube.
Hey,
Thank you. Yo.
Do you think you'll be updating us from your living room again?
Maybe. How sweet was that living room video? Those 2 living room videos, man.
Boom.
All
Maybe
right,
next
guys.
time we'll do it from the shop.
Yeah, that's fine. It was like had to be done right then and there. You know what I mean?
It was like
late breaking.
It was like instant dough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no dough, but yeah.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Austin, the producer, for an excellent, outstanding show.
Great show today.
Great show.
Today.
Thank you, Jack Scaccia, proprietor of Town Country Lanes. I hope your knee is doing good. Hope you're feeling better. Hope it's bending, and I hope you're walking.
Why aren't you here bowling?
Thank you, Anthony, for a great show. Hats off to you. And thank you to my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan.
Thanks to my girlfriend, Brad.
And we'll see you guys next week. This is Down Lane Podcast.